Yeah, you're live. Starting soon.
All right, yeah, so we're live. We did it. This is the first go at it, guys. But I guess we can jump right into it.
Did you really use Comic Sans on that top?
Dude, you said just use Comic Sans. We're throwing it together last second. No, fuck it, we're doing it live. Here we go.
All right, so he's setting up these scenes,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
Kevin, this is before you came in, and he's like, "What font do I use for the text on the top?" And jokingly, of course, suggested Comic Sans. You could have just used the same one on your thumbnail.
Well, I
That
could
beautiful
have.
thumbnail that I put together in like 5 seconds.
So
With
the thing
Streamlabs
is,
logo on fire.
I got down here with a little less time than I planned, and I have to line up all the windows because it's the first time we're doing this with the Discord chat.
Mhm.
And just resizing them, getting them all to be the same, apparently harder than it looks. And it took me way longer than I thought it was gonna. So, that's the excuse, and now we have Comic Sans, and you can cry about it, Nick.
Ouch.
Yeah, so that's it. Anyway, this is the first episode of Cave Conversations Live, so let's get right into it. Hi everyone, this is Mike back here in the Nerd Cave. Today is the first official episode of Cave Conversations Live. I wanted to do this for a while now. That's kind of why I started the old Cave Conversations, but I wanted it to eventually become a live show like this. It's going to be 3 hosts with me tonight. It's first episode. I wanted it to be something big. Everyone from here on out is going to be at least one other host with me, if not more. We're going to have drinks on the show. If you guys in chat are drinking anything, just put it in chat, alcoholic or not, and we'll give you some shout outs early in the show. And with that said, let's get into introducing the hosts. We got here Plop, Nick, and Kevin, and I'm going to let Kevin take it away here and tell the chat about who you are.
Hey, Chad and other hosts. How's everybody doing here? Really
Hey,
good. I see everyone's waving back.
Where sorry, where can we find you and all of that? And then what are you drinking?
I'm kind of all over the internet. You can find me at Link Cable Gaming. I know we've had Mike over there a few times, hosting on the podcast with us. We write articles, do tons of new stuff for YouTube, and also I'm kind of doing my own little YouTube channel thing, getting started. The name is still TBD, but you can follow me on Twitter at Pro5002. And I am drinking found a drink in my fridge, a Absolute Mango Mule. Someone had left from a party at my house, so
Nice.
free drink for
Sounds
me.
tasty. And free is always good, so.
Hell yeah.
Everything else looked expired, so I kind of went with what I thought was still good.
Alrighty. Well, Nick, on to you next.
Hey everyone, this is Nick JetBlk Shaw. I am all over social media on various handles. I think on Twitter I am JetBlk, JetBlk. I'm also on Instagram at NickShaw12. I do have a YouTube channel. I just switched over to YouTube from streaming on Twitch, and I don't have a URL yet, so I'm going to put that in chat. And Michael will have that linked in the description below. You've probably seen me if you've checked out the Cave Conversations that we've shot at Midnight Slate Labs. If you've seen those videos, obviously this is now a live version, and we're continuing on with some of this great content and conversations, alcoholic debauchery, all the goodness. So I am drinking a British-style Imperial Stout called Luscious from The Alchemist in Vermont. So this is a 9.2% beer. I've had this before. It's pretty tasty. Alchemist, if you're not familiar, they're outside of Stowe. If you are familiar with beers like Heady Topper or Banger, same brewery. I don't know a lot of people have actually had a stout from this place. They're usually drinking those other 2 beers, and that's it. But this is actually fantastic. So cheers to the rest of you guys, and I'll let Plop introduce himself now too.
What's going on? Thanks for that introduction, Mr. Nick Shaw. My name is Plop. You can find me over. I have some TikTok stuff at Plop04. I do a lot of short funny stuff on there. But I like to stream on Twitch as well. Also Plop04 there. YouTube. I dabble a little bit. You don't need to worry about that. And then I'm on Twitter. It's Plop, ITZPLOP. Yeah, I like to play games on the Twitch thing, and occasionally I'll play with some of these guys. Today I have I'm lacking in the beer department, so I apologize. But typically I like to drink IPAs. Unfortunately, all I had in my fridge was a Sam Adams. It's just one of their summer shandy guys, but it's better than nothing, I guess. So,
dude, the angle you had that at when you had it just below the frame looked like you were about to lift up a liter of beer. You're like, oh, I don't really have beer, but here's a liter of liquid that I'm gonna suck down during this.
I was gonna say it looked like it was like the size.
Very impressive.
Yeah, it looked like it was like the size of a boot. Like you're just gonna pull up Das boot, start taking it down.
It's like
slow,
nothing impressive,
dramatic.
but here it is.
I
Anyway.
was trying to get the IPA as well, but I have an all-day IPA from Founders, but it's well expired. So after I finish the Mango Mule, we'll see if it's still good.
nice.
We're definitely gonna have to revisit some of these, especially Nick. Like you said, I've never had a stout from there. I've only ever had the IPAs, so I'm really interested about that. And for me, actually, quick, I'm going with, since it's the first episode and I've been wanting to do this for so long, I broke out something really nice. Firestone Anniversary limited edition release. It's their 24-year anniversary ale. So it's bourbon barrel aged blend, and yeah, I'll get right into that. I've had it actually aging for about a year, so
Damn, Daniel.
excited.
Sounds fancy.
Yeah.
Sounds real fancy.
Have you had that on its side,
Wow.
or have you like rotated it around?
Oh no, it's been standing up in its box.
You're
it's
like
got a box.
Yours is aged and good. This all-day APA was in a cooler in my yard for summer, and then I brought it in and brought it back into the cooler for summer. So it's been in and out of heat. I'm pretty sure this is gonna kill me.
That sounds like the life of a Founders All Day IPA, though. Like I love those things. They're a go-to summer beer for sure. So I get that.
This is part of it. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, with the introductions out of the way.
Well, Mike. Before we move on, maybe we should say where in the world are we all located? Because
That's true.
I think we're kind of all over the place, and I think I'm meeting most of you for the first time. So
that is true.
maybe we should tell the chat and each other where we're at.
Kevin, you spent 45 minutes in my stream. You know me, man.
Okay, I got you. All right, I'll give you that.
So yeah,
The
actually,
mysterious Plop, though, I don't know anything about this guy.
Plop. Then you take it away.
I guess I'll start then. So yeah, actually, I'm familiar with both Nick and Mike from we went to the wonderful RIT out in Rochester, New York. But I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. So that's my neck of the woods, and that's where I'm from. So yeah, that's where I am now.
Yep.
But, yeah, very
Speaking
cold.
of RIT, I got a fucking phone call from those guys begging me for more money tonight.
Oh yeah, it sounds
It's
about right.
constant. Yeah.
They didn't take enough money as it was, you know. They just gotta call us up every now and then and, hey, can you make a donation? No, I can't. Can you pay off my loans?
I always feel bad for the people making those calls, though, because they have to do it.
I
Right.
know.
I wonder what their success rate is. Like they
know,
call someone,
yeah.
they go, you know what? Sure, I just feel like giving you money, even though I'm still paying you. Because my school does that too. I'm like, I've been
Yeah.
out of you for like 4 years, and you still want me to pay you, and I'm still paying you. So it doesn't really make sense.
I think I got my first one of those letters from them. So I had walked across the stage already, so they probably had that down. But I was still finishing up classes because I was
you
doing
walked
it
across.
through my
You can
office.
pay now.
And they were paying for classes, so I still had 2 classes left. So I'm still going to school there and paying them for that. And I got a letter that was like, hey, do you want to donate? Like, no, I'm still paying you right now. Like, why would I want to start that already? So, yeah, those are always annoying. But yeah, Kevin.
I'm from Michigan, so I'm out a little ways west of you guys. I'm outside of Detroit. I actually lived in Rochester, Michigan for like 9 years. So
Oh yeah.
you guys say
there's another
Rochester.
Rochester.
You guys always say Rochester, and I'm talking to you guys or in your chat, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know where Rochester is. And you're like, oh no, New York. I'm like, okay, it's a little different, but yeah, I just say I'm from Detroit, and then most people get scared of me. So
And you know what's even more scary is that Kevin, when he was in my stream and I was playing with my buddy Jalmsy, he's like, "Hey, I
That was
actually
weird.
live by your buddy, like
Oh,
real
yeah.
close to him."
no, not only live like you ask him, oh, what city do you live in, and he names the city I'm in. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's like real close. He's
Yeah.
3 miles away from me.
That's wild.
What are the odds of that?
That's like such a small town thing. Like just a small world
Kinda
thing, not
creepy.
small town. But
Crazy.
yeah, I was just gonna get us into. I just want to break down quick, kind of what we're gonna have going forward. So I guess I should start with a disclaimer. I mean, we've already had a little bit of language at the start of the show, but this isn't gonna be like a kid-friendly show. It's gonna be more of like
children to bed.
It's gonna be more of like the PG-13 type show. There's gonna be some drinking. We're just kind of hanging out, having fun. Gonna loosen up as we go and just kind of say what we think and what we want to say about all of the topics. That's what we're here for, and we're here to have a good time. So I just want to get that out of the way before we get into any of our topics. And I don't know if anyone else has anything they want to add to it, or if we want to get right into it.
And now we're gonna get right in and talk about Pornhub. Let's go.
God. Definitely not kid friendly after that, huh?
Nah, it wasn't about Xbox or Streamlabs or anything else going on.
Honestly, the thumbnail is just a ploy. It's just to get people in here.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
People came in, saw the Comic Sans, and they already left.
Oh god.
I almost disconnected when I saw it go live.
I hate all of you. Anyway, let's get into the first topic. So Xbox had an event on Monday, and if anyone else is like me, the big thing was Halo, and I think Plop was very excited about that, Halo Infinite. The fact that I had heard rumors all weekend that they were going to be releasing the multiplayer. It was, coming out left and right from people on YouTube, people on Twitter, leaking this that, it's going to be the big surprise. But there was still also a ton of people on the other side, a ton of insiders saying there's no way. So it was like back and forth, almost like it's a wish list thing rather than this is actually going to happen. So that was the biggest thing from the show, is when they had the orchestra play and then they cut and they're like, oh, by the way, you can start playing Halo Infinite right now. And I feel like everyone just kind of lost their shit. The Plop face up there, that was what people did exactly. And there was other really cool announcements at the show, but the backwards compatibility is absolutely awesome. The FPS boost, so awesome, especially if anyone on Xbox or who plays Xbox likes those old games. I know I just downloaded Blue Dragon because I'm really excited to try that out for the first time. I've been getting more into RPGs. But I think what we all want to talk about is Halo Infinite. I know at least 3 of us have had the chance to play it.
We're not going to talk about The Rock and the cool contest with the movie that he's in that no one's going to see?
No. We can. If you really want to talk about that.
That was as much as I knew about it.
The floor is yours. Kevin is all about the biceps. Kevin, take it away.
I thought you were going to just start dropping like all the buzzwords that he dropped 10 years ago or whenever the hell that was.
Oh my, that was
super graphics.
Priceless.
Glasses on.
Yeah, that was priceless. I'm pretty sure he was just reading like the Wikipedia article.
Well, I like that he was
about
bashing himself. He's like, who wears sunglasses like that inside? And I was like, I'm glad he can make fun of himself, and he knew he looked really weird back then.
Yeah, it was awkward, but it was great. I honestly preferred the old one to the new one. The new one was like too rehearsed. The old one was so awkward. I loved it.
And too much marketing for his Netflix movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Kept referencing that. I don't even know what it was called. Red something. He's like, and if you watch my movie with Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot, you can see all this stuff. And I'm like,
I will say I kind of love Ryan Reynolds, so I might watch it. I don't know.
Okay.
My background on my computer is Ryan Reynolds, so.
So yeah, Kevin, I don't know. You seem pretty outnumbered here.
No, I don't know you well enough to know if that was a joke or for real. So
you think I'm kidding, but I actually used it for a TikTok video, so.
Oh. Okay. Yes. Anyways, Xbox.
That was 4 months ago. He's never changed it. You think I'm kidding? Anyway, Plop, I'm gonna let you take away the Halo announcement first because I don't think you've actually had the chance to play it yet, but I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts either way.
Which is also fucking awkward because you saw his reaction, right?
Exactly.
He was pretty much about to inhale his microphone.
Listen.
That's really the question: is why haven't you played it?
Okay. Wait, you haven't played it yet?
I've been grinding another game, so my apologies that I'm.
What is the other game you're playing?
Team play tactics right now. I'm trying to get to that top 0.01%. But despite
He's over
that,
here like, I got cookie clicker going, I can't play.
first off, can we just talk about only 25 gigabytes? That's kind of nice, not gonna lie. I don't know about you. I haven't downloaded
It's just
Battlefield at all.
multiplayer,
I haven't
though.
played that at all. But I'm sure those downloads were huge in comparison.
Yeah, and Nick, to your point, you said it's just multiplayer. All Battlefield is
true.
multiplayer, and that's like 100 gigs.
And
So
Warzone is all just multiplayer, and it's 200 gigs.
yeah,
It's
so
fine.
Right.
there.
Ain't no regular Call of Duty. It's Halo. Yeah. All
Yo.
right,
I
fair enough.
have it downloaded, but I mean, Halo 3, Halo 2, literally, I'm sure you guys can agree as well. That's our child nostalgia. All those nostalgic people are coming out of the woodworks and they're like, wait, Halo released for the 20th anniversary? Oh yeah, time to download that and time to start playing that. So everybody's coming out of the woodwork, and man, from what I've heard and from what I've watched, watching Tim the Tap Man, I think he was playing it today.
Mm-hmm.
Myth,
he's
a
hot
few
trash.
others, a bunch of people have been playing it, and I've heard good things. I've heard that it's like the old, Halo 3 feel.
Yeah, but
some
modern.
people are saying it's clunky, and I don't know if that's because they're coming from Call of Duty, where it's a lot faster, and they're not used to, that Halo gameplay. But like I said, this is all coming from a perspective of not having played it yet.
So I think I can speak to that actually, and because I hopped on and played Warzone for the first time in a while, just the other day, and then so it was like 2 days later Halo came out, and it made me realize how sticky, because I did a stream that over on Twitch, plug by the way, Mike's Nerd Cave on Twitch, but it was aim assist versus alcohol last Friday night for a Warzone stream, or I guess I did it Thursday night, but the aim assist was so sticky in Warzone. It felt like I could just snap to people on controller, and then I get over on Halo, and I know people are saying like, oh, the aim assist in Halo it's there, and people get upset about it and stuff like that. It's not nearly as sticky as Call of Duty, and when you first jump in, it makes it feel clunky like that, because you try to aim, and even on like a low sense, if you don't stop at the right spot, you're just flying past them every time, and you like feel like you can't control your aim at all until you get used to it. So it really is a tougher game, as well as like you have to be able to stay on a person and trace because of the higher time to kill.
I think Nick's itching to say something over there.
Yeah.
So like Mike's the exact opposite, where like he's playing on a super low sensitivity, and I'm playing like super fast.
Okay.
And I found that, and there's a YouTube video that goes through this. When you change the field of view, it changes how the aim assist works.
Yeah.
It changes the size of the crosshair as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a false, when you look at the size of the BR crosshair, it's so fucking big that I think it is feeling pretty sticky, but like the spread for where you actually get the headshot is where you have to do that micro adjustment. I
Yeah.
did notice, like with the controller, micro adjustments are harder to make at lower sensitivities. So once you fuck around with the sensitivity, and there's too many sense settings, there should be just like sensitivity for horizontal and vertical, and then a curve, like the Warzone or any Call of Duty has, where you can change it from like linear, standard, or dynamic. There's all like these dead zone things, accelerations. It's too complex of what it should be. But it took me an eternity to find what that should be for my gameplay style. But once I did, I started frying people.
Also, I know that it does use the Steam controller configurator when it loads up, which is interesting because it has its own controller settings in the game. So I know you can also adjust dead zone, shape and curve and all of that in Steam itself if you wanted to get even more into the details. But yeah, like you said, the game already has a ton of stuff you can adjust.
Where's everybody playing it at? Are we all on Xbox, PC? Where's everyone playing this at?
So far, I have it on Xbox Series X and PC, but I've only actually played it on PC.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on PC, and like
PC
I
as
said in
well.
the pre-show,
Plop, you haven't played
PS4 controller.
Yeah. Maybe that's some of your problems. You're using the
No, like I'm
opposite
good
enemy
now.
company.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
good
like
now.
that's like blasphemy, using a PS4
Yeah.
controller to play Halo.
I'm ready to use my control.
Oh,
All right.
oh,
Hold on.
That's
All right,
that's
if you
just,
want to
gross.
buy
that's just
me
gross.
an Xbox Elite
No.
controller, then I will use.
You know,
an
I'll be
Xbox Elite
honest. I
controller.
have the Elite controller, and I don't use it. I don't like the material on it. It's almost sticky, and I end up just
Thanks,
using
Dom.
just the regular one.
Thanks for
I don't know
stopping by.
why.
It's not just yours.
Which Xbox controller do I get? Because I'm trying to get one, and I'm not even sure which one to get.
Just the new Series X one is pretty
Yeah,
good. That
it's
one's
it has such a
pretty
nice feel
standard
to it.
controller,
And if you're
yeah.
gonna do that, honestly, pay the extra $5 and customize one. It
oh yeah,
takes
the
like
customization's cool.
it takes like 2 or 3 weeks to send to you, but like you
Shit.
get it
I hope you didn't break.
Mike's Nerd
That's
Cave.
kind of neat.
Yeah, and
off.
you can
nice.
fully customize it. So that's, I would say it's worth doing that because in the stores they're like $65. Then again, Black Friday coming up, they'll probably be like $40 in stores. So maybe just
Yeah,
do
the
that if you
material
want them quick. But
On the Elite Series 2, I don't like it. It almost makes my hands like sweat when I'm using it, which I don't like.
Does
Is
that
that
have
the-
paddles on it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, does
no,
it
I
have the
don't.
pedals on the back?
I can.
Would
I don't
you
have
go
them
like
on.
this, just like
You can do it, but I don't use them.
it's a little weird. Plop, think about it.
It's super
I
weird.
can't-
okay, we got someone in chat saying the Razer Wolverine Elite is the best controller, which is an Xbox controller, but it's made completely by Razer. I don't know if
I actually-
any of you guys have seen it.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
It's so I know I've never gotten to use it. I've always been curious because I know the buttons are mechanical switches.
So, quick question: is it the Ultimate? Because I'm not finding the Elite.
Oh, it might be. Yeah, it might be a mistype.
I was looking at this and I'm like, are
calling
there
the chat out
multiple
already?
controllers? Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
yo,
was just
Dom.
trying to find the right controller. If this is the best, and you know, I was gonna say like, what's better, Elite or Ultimate? Which is the top dog?
He says ultimate. He says ultimate.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Looking at it, this is interesting. Yeah.
What's also interesting is none of us are using mouse and keyboard.
That's true.
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't have an Xbox controller yet, but like, man, the nostalgia is telling me to pick up an Xbox controller and
exactly
play
how
it
I
with
felt,
the
too.
controller.
it just
I
feels.
completely agree.
It feels at home. The second
Like,
you
yeah.
start a game, it almost hurt me that it felt so at home because I'm trying to play on not old controls. I'm trying to play on controls that'll make me better. I'm either trying to switch to bumper jumper, or just play on what they're calling legacy, which is reach and newer.
Although you kept screwing it up every
I
time
know.
I was
Well,
playing
because
it.
I changed
He
like
would
3
get
times.
melee and duck, and I'm watching him go after
Oh,
a guy
yeah.
stuck up and down as he's trying to hit him.
Well, so because
So
what
bad.
they call button puncher now is what the control scheme for Halo 1 through 3 was, where B is melee.
Yeah, it used to be bop.
Yeah. So that's actually called button puncher. And that one I was using the best out of all of them. Yo, have a good one, Dom. Oh, we'll see you later, man. And thanks for stopping by the way. Sorry.
Dude,
Gotta get work.
just go Legacy. You'll get Plat 4 like me, or you'll
Yeah.
get like
Well, that's-
2.
You know, I could use legacy, or I could teach myself bumper jumper and then get diamond.
Or you can really confuse people and just individually assign every action on the buttons and just go through customizing.
I'm gonna
your
make
own
every
thing.
action the A button. So like I just hit the A button, my guy like freaks out, shoots a little bit, throws a grenade, ducks and jumps at the same time. It's gonna be
Dude,
epic.
so-
No one will know what's happening.
So like back to Plop's point about like nostalgia, like when they were going through the history of like from the vault during that stream and they brought up the Duke controller. Do you remember the first time you got your hands on the Duke? You're holding
Oh my
on to this
God.
thing like this, like the size of your little torso as a child.
Yeah.
Well, and at that point in your life, you had Donald Trump hands, so
Yeah, exactly.
What?
he has tiny hands.
big controller.
Those tiny little tiny hands. Okay.
Little tiny Nick Child hands.
I'm holding the controller like this. Yeah, no, like when they were going through that, I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, I started remembering like all the old games on the original Xbox. And like, yeah, it was just nuts. Like the original Halos, when you had to literally bring your big CRT TV over to your friend's house with your Xbox to
Mhm.
play LAN for Halo Combat Involved. It's just crazy.
Or I think
Take it
even
back.
like I think Plop was saying in our conversation earlier, put the cardboard up on one CRT, no screen peeking, you get punched.
Listen, that was the way to do it, man.
I
Like,
remember oh man, being at friends' houses and like there would be fist fights. It was mostly between like my buddy and his brother. If they thought the other one like screen peeked, someone was getting punched.
You just get the duct tape and you split it right down the middle, and then the two people on the same team will go on the one side, two on the other, and there'd be like a little sliver like underneath the cardboard if you didn't put the duct tape like straight up against the TV, where they'd still try to like screen peek. But yeah.
So I have the most epic nostalgic Halo story. My family owns a movie theater, so we have 2-screen theater, and next to each other. And for I think it was my 13th birthday, I had 8 of I guess myself included, 8 of us all together went to the theater, and we did 4v4, each theater versus the other theater, and it was the most epic thing you could ever imagine. So I'll never forget that.
I feel like
no cardboard needed there.
I didn't know you played Halo there. I remember you were telling me about like birthday parties there, where you would just set up and get to play video games with like a crap
we played
ton
a lot
friends.
of stuff there. We used to play like Luigi's Mansion and shit. It was scary.
You had to be the coolest kid in school.
No, I was a huge nerd. I had no friends. I was just begging for them to come play with me.
Yo, guys.
Like, oh yeah, that kid,
you're my friend for this week. We can play video games in a movie theater.
That's basically it. It's basically me, my neighbors, and my brother.
Oh,
You've met my brother. He's a bit of a treat.
We got Big Spoon in chat. I gotta shout him out too. He's coming over here from the craft computing side of things.
Worst part about the Elite controllers, you can't swap batteries. That's true, but almost every other controller is like that. I think
that's also true, but
Switch controller, PlayStation controllers. I think by then you just gotta be. I will literally sit next to a charger with my PS5 controller because that thing dies so fast. So.
That's why I got the controller stand, and it surprises me. Sometimes in the morning on the weekends, I'll get up and I'll want to play like Ghost of Tsushima for a little bit, and if I haven't had one of the controllers charging, but it still says it's like full, I'll maybe get an hour and a half out of it and then like swap controllers, because with all of the new PS5 like DualSense features, that controller dies so fast. But I do like it for games like that because it feels great with like when you pull back the arrow, anything like that. It does. I would say maybe like 2.5 hours is max you're getting out of it if you're playing a game with all the features.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've had longer than that. Mine haven't died that quick, but yeah, 2.5, 3 hours I think is the longest session I've had when it gets down to saying like 1 bar flashing.
Okay, I do have to shout something out really quick. Seeing Big Spoon in here, because he'll get this, but so he came over from. He's always in the Craft Computing Discord and the Craft Computing Talking Heads live streams. And actually, the whole inspiration for this show, this live stream, is I've been following Talking Heads now for like 2.5 years. And it's if you guys are into tech, gaming, and beer, that's the place to go. I just had to shout that out quick because that's been the biggest inspiration for me. And it's kept me doing what I'm doing. Link Cable Gaming is also right there.
Yeah, wow. What's going on?
They're like a close number 2. No, you guys are
digging your hole.
You guys are awesome as well, and I love going on your show every single time you ask me. I pretty much drop what I'm doing, and I'm like, Abby, I'm going on Link Cable Gaming tonight.
Even the girlfriend at dinner by herself at a restaurant.
I'm out.
All right, honey. Sure.
Big Spoon. He did call it his home. Bite my bits. Which
wait, what?
Bite my bits is another YouTuber. He called out.
I thought we were still talking about your girlfriend.
Oh
What's going on?
I know. Bite my bits. I was like.
Yeah. He's okay. Down.
So we did the disclaimer.
Yeah, I feel like I should know. God, I feel so bad. I can't think of his name right now. He's down in
Apparently
Texas.
Not that inspiring.
Or the Texas area. No, I also watch all of his stuff. He just did a sick garage remodel this past year. But I'm the worst. Big Spoon, don't call me out.
He was already offended. He left hours ago.
Yeah, Jason. Oh, it is Kansas. He had to drive to Texas for the stuff for his garage floor. That's what it was. Anyway, so does anyone have anything else they want to add about the Xbox event or Halo Infinite itself?
Plop, when you finally fire it up, yeah, I'm gonna send you a link to get your controller settings right from the get-go. Otherwise, you're gonna think it's clunky as hell.
I
It
mean,
does feel
yeah.
clunky as fuck when you first fire it up. Like I fired it up,
Yeah.
and like it just felt slow. Like just
Yeah.
the movement of your crosshair when you're
Right.
thinking you're supposed to be like actually swinging on somebody or just trying to turn around.
It almost feels delayed.
Like molasses.
It almost feels, it feels like you're like in something sticky because it feels slow, but you also feel like you like fly by what you're looking at and you have to like snap back to it. It's weird. I definitely think turn the acceleration up higher than the sense, honestly. It helps so much because that's the thing is they have the acceleration pretty low, I feel like.
Yeah,
Noted. I'll come to you. I'll come to you. I figured it
I need
might
to play
take
with
some
that,
adjusting.
too.
That's
Yeah.
like the biggest thing is like it just took me because it did not feel right for like the first I don't know like hour that I was playing, and then I just looked up a couple things that what the pros were doing, and yeah, it just for some reason it just feels like Mike said like you're just stuck, and you could just turn up the sense and not mess with the other things, and it still feels slow as shit. So there's like I think 8 different sensitivity values that go into what your sensitivity and feel looks like. It's crazy. It's too much shit.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to play with.
Also, do not leave games if
Oh,
you can help
yeah.
it. Do
Actually,
not leave games because you actually will get a temp ban. So I had the game crash. So it's not just leaving games, but if the game crashes, you get a temp ban after a couple times in a row. So I had the game crash twice, and I left a game once, and I got like a 15-minute ban where I couldn't queue. In any
the
game
ban
type.
was because he was hacking. Don't let him
It's
lie
pretty
to you.
funny because it's like opposite. I think Call of Duty just let you can now leave a game and there's no penalty. They just changed that. So it's
Yeah, but Call of
opposite.
Duty also allows hacking.
Yeah, but this is like even quick play. So quick play, so there's a couple different game modes, right? So quick play, you just go in there, pub stomp people. It's unranked. You just go do whatever. Once somebody leaves, it fills somebody in. You can join a game in progress. If you leave a ranked game, I could see where there's punishment because it doesn't fill in a 4th person when you leave ranked. So
Right.
then you're just putting your team down permanently for that rest of the game. You're probably going to lose. It gets taken into consideration with the scoring. But yeah, I don't see like where quick play, a pub, you get punished if the game crashes or you leave.
I think if it was like 5 or 6 games within like a 30-minute period, so it's clear you're just joining and leaving games. Girlfriend whistling. Don't know if you guys heard that. But yeah, if you're just joining and leaving games, that would be like, I feel like that's an okay thing because either way, it's detrimental to the experience. Even if people are backfilling, it's still frustrating to have someone constantly doing that. But yeah, in this case where it's like you're there for 90% of the match and then you get booted, that doesn't make any sense to get banned for that. It's honestly, it's so dumb.
I'm sure it's something they'll fix as
Yeah.
it goes on. Hopefully, I believe in Microsoft and Halo and 343. What is it?
You believe
343,
in-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe in Phil Spencer. The last part I want to add is we were talking about jaws dropping and hitting the floor. I don't think anyone's jaw dropped as much as EA and DICE after their game comes out tomorrow, Battlefield, and they probably just lost because Halo is going to be eating their lunch because they came out early.
And it
All the
already had
memes.
the early access for the last week for anyone
Yeah.
who like bought the deluxe edition or whatever.
I installed
And
it.
All
Didn't
the
even play it.
reviews. Yeah, dude, all of the reviews
Halo
are
came-
just frying it. And then Halo's just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to just slide in them DMs real quick.
Well, even worse is Battlefield was delayed, so they probably were like, they were probably getting freaked out a little bit because they got closer to Call of Duty and Vanguard, and then Halo in December. But
Yeah.
it just
What?
that game's looking rough. There's so many problems with it.
And to be honest, they did all the right things when they released Halo 2, even early. So like they got the rank mode right off the get-go. People are still like craving ranks for Call of Duty, right? They've got the team skins, all that shit that you would want for an esports ready title from the get-go. So they did a lot of things where all the competitive people were saying like it's like Halo 6 Call of Duty 0. Like they're just like ahead with like positioning the game to be a successful esports title. And of course, like
big time.
COD's got CDL behind it, right? But Halo Championship Series, like I'm actually really excited. for the old timers out there, if you saw that Optic announced they have a Halo roster, I Got Your Pistola is back on the roster, and
Damn.
I think Lunchbox is a coach.
Hey,
So there's some nostalgia for like the old Halo competition people that were fans of Optic.
Have you seen
They're
a handful of the COD pros too that used to be Halo pros back in the day are just flopping back? They're just like, peace, done with the CDL, don't want it. There was so many CDL players coming out, and they were like, Halo launched day one with what we've been asking Call of Duty for 6 years.
Yeah, so I follow David Walsh, aka Walshy, that was part of like Final Boss with the Ogre Brothers and all that stuff too. And I think he's been kind of like jonesing to get back and play a little bit. So he's been streaming, and I'm interested to watch him play Halo Infinite.
Yeah, I follow a handful of Halo streamers, and I've been watching them a little bit in the background here and there while doing other things. And it's pretty unanimous across the board that it's a success, which is I'm so excited. After the last couple, like Halo 4 was meh, Halo 5 was that ain't it, and it seems like they've really found their form. And Plop, you're getting called out in chat, my guy.
Oh, am I?
You're getting called out about your TikTok.
You know what's funny though? I don't think he even plugged the TikTok when he did his intro. He plugged everything else.
Yeah, he plugged his TikTok, and then he also talked about making
TikTok and Twitch.
And he talked about making his Ryan Reynolds TikToks.
What's your TikTok? I'll follow you right now.
Oh, Big Spoon commented on one of my TikToks.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, it's Plop04 on TikTok. But yeah, he said, wait, what did he say? Do your nerd friends make fun of you for TikToking too? Nah, even if they do, whatever.
Dude,
whatever.
Yeah, I'm also at the Frolic. True. I am also. I need to up my TikTok game, but I'm on there. I don't have a lot.
I just made a TikTok a week ago.
It can be cringe sometimes, but I mean, it's part of the platform, so
it is.
You just gotta embrace it.
Oh, look, exactly. You got some pretty legit TikToks going on here, my Plop friend.
Plop I think I had one pop off, but yeah. There was one really big one.
You just need Ryan Reynolds to notice you on TikTok now.
Yeah. One more thing before we skip off of the Halo thing, though. You guys saw the stuff about the campaign and the campaign and the open worlds type. How you guys feel about that? It's a little different than
a little Ubisoft.
It is, but I'm excited to give it a try.
Assassin's Creed Far Cry meets Halo.
Yeah, like experience, open world, doing.
Gotta go find the tower, stand at the top, open up the map. You know how to do it.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's shout this out real quick for anyone who's watching live and or in the future. Go follow Plop04 on TikTok. Spoon just pointed out only 400 more followers to go live. Let's go.
Something like that, yeah. I plan on using the go live feature as soon as I hit 1,000.
Heck yeah! All right, let's get him there. Let's do it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. But no, I personally I'm really excited for the campaign, especially now that I've gotten a taste of the multiplayer and how it feels, because I've always loved the Halo campaigns, and I feel like this exact statement is overused, but I'm kind of almost hoping it's Halo's Breath of the Wild moment. And I know that gets overused, but I want it to be that. I want it to be that type of thing where it's not necessarily tedious to like go over here and clear a base and go over there. Like you just feel like there's nothing in between.
Right.
I want it to be, I'm hoping it's that experience where it's like, oh, you're going along to your next thing and you see something off in the distance. You're like, oh, what's that? And it sparks your interest and you get excited. And instead of feeling like you have to just go from point A to B, you can go from point A to squirrel, tree, rock, fish.
Hey,
point
listen.
B.
Listen.
and just and
my
just
window's
have a
open.
good.
I thought someone was shouting in my window over there. I literally looked, going, "Oh my god, my neighbor is complaining I'm talking too loud or something." Because my neighbors are weird, so they would do that. And they're not like the good kind of weird.
Nick is.
Like they've probably been watching me the last 20 minutes.
Nick has been playing some Skyward Sword recently.
Shoot. I want to say, to add to the thing, I just think this kind of is an overall Microsoft thing. Like, I think 2022 is the year of Microsoft and Phil Spencer taking over. Like, they are just killing it. We got Games Pass, Forza just came out that everyone's loving. We got Halo coming out. What else was it they had? Well, Bethesda obviously is, I guess they kind of take that by default because they bought them.
Now they do, yeah.
But Game of the Year stuff, I mean, this is last time, I can't remember Microsoft having several games up there. Like, they have that and Deathloop, which is, again, by default, they got it, and Psychonauts 2, and stuff coming out for next year, and every time I see Phil Spencer talking in any interview, he's just got a smirk like, oh, you guys don't even know what's coming. Like, it's getting better. Like, and that man, that is a cool guy. Like, got his leather jacket. Like, he's just a cool, badass dude.
I love that. I don't know if anyone knows RGT85, but I love that he's always saying "Slick Philly Spence." That's how he refers to him, as Slick Philly Spence.
He did have a big dick moment the other day. That was kind of like
constantly does.
Yeah, but this is like calling out the rest of the industry for like not having the backwards compatibility, keeping the infrastructure to support the old games up.
Yeah,
he said that
he talked about emulation.
The old yeah, exactly.
It was all about emulators. He's like, what's going on? Like, let's.
No.
The infrastructure is going to need to exist anyways. Like, why not keep all that stuff around? And he was actually calling out Sony, Nintendo, and others of like, not preserving gaming history by.
Yeah, it's like. It's like putting a painting and burning it. It's like it's art that you're not going to be able to view or access because of lack of technology.
Yeah, and it's going to be sad when that stuff. I mean, we're already seeing it. Like
PS2
but I mean,
games, Skyrim's going to come out every generation for the next like 20 years, so like that's kind of preserved every year, right?
Well, yeah, Skyrim is infinitely preserved right there next to GTA 5.
It's the bad games that aren't going to get preserved.
Yeah, but it's those. It's not the bad games either. It's the games, the niche
like who's
games.
preserving Billy Hatcher?
Oh, that's true. But no, the one I always go to for me is a volleyball player, and I guess actually all four of us play volleyball, so can all relate. But Summer Heat Beach Volleyball on the PS2 and Beach Spikers on the GameCube.
I thought you were going to say Dead or Alive.
No, I don't care about that one. I care about both of these, Summer Heat and Beach Spikers. Are probably still to this day the most like competitive beach volleyball games where you games where you actually have the control over the players, and you feel like, I mean, you're obviously not playing volleyball, but you feel like you're essentially calling the plays and creating the game, making it happen, and it's a real competitive experience where you use real volleyball knowledge, and it's a lot of fun. And there hasn't been one of those since the GameCube. There is a volleyball game currently on PlayStation, and it is ass to the point that it's hilarious to play because your player will go up and swing like this.
Is that the one on Game Pass or something?
No, it's on PlayStation, but it's.
Oh no, you bought it. You bought it, didn't you? I
bought it when it was on sale for $5. But your player will go up and swing here, and the ball is 5 feet that way, but the ball will still get smashed into the ground with no contact at all. The player's not even close to it. It just responds to it's someone on the court swung, so ball get hit. It's oh my god. Hit. It's occasionally it'll just glitch out, and you're in a convention center with 70-foot tall ceilings, and somehow they'll set the ball to the ceiling. They'll just disappear off the screen and come back 30 seconds later.
I mean, you've seen next gen FIFA, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, to be honest. Yeah. No,
but same bullshit. Apparently, copy and paste has some weird issue every year that something worse happens when you copy and paste from the previous year's FIFA.
Yeah.
What's even funnier is how bad copy and paste works when they do it on the Switch.
Oh god.
Because FIFA on the Switch is a nightmare.
Well, yeah.
Seeing stuff there.
It's real bad.
It looks like a PS2 game.
I do want
any good sports games on the Switch? Let's be honest.
NBA 2K, the new one that just came out, actually.
Mario Golf.
Yeah, Mario Golf.
I mean,
there we go.
I do want to run with.
Okay, anything
Mario
that's not a
count as actual sports. Come on now.
Oh, they do. They're fun.
Is bowling a real sport? But sure.
True. The Wii Sports.
There you go.
Those need to come back. But anyway, I wanted to take us back on track with Nick. Actually brought up Nick and Kevin when we were talking about Phil Spencer kind of calling out the rest of the industry. CEOs in the industry calling people out, and it actually started with Jim Ryan over at Sony. We're going to skip to topic 3, guys, but Jim Ryan calling out, and now Phil Spencer is as well. both calling out Activision. Actually, this isn't even topic 3. I just want to cut to it.
I was gonna say, where the fuck are you?
This
going
is
to?
one of the extra topics, but I just
I'm
want to cut to
scrolling.
it.
I'm like, I don't even know
But
what
it's
we're
the
doing here.
CEOs calling out Activision with everything that's going on over there, and I honestly love to see it because I don't know how much you guys know or chat knows about all of the stuff that's been breaking at Activision. I feel like everyone kind of knows about it, Activision Blizzard, and all the like scandals and the mistreating of women and all of that. And the CEO of Activision, head of all of this, it's come out that he's known about it all for years. He's been one of the worst. He literally threatened to have a woman killed if she like said anything. And all of this has come out. He admitted to it like in court years ago.
Yeah.
And there's still the board of directors, like there was a strike, workers want him out because there's supposedly a zero tolerance policy. And the board of directors are like, no, we're backing Bobby Kotick. And on top of all that, his name is also in Epstein's little black book.
Oh, God.
Those pictures get posted all the time. So it's like, this is like a terrible, terrible human. And
Yo, the Cosby Suite was probably in Epstein's little black book.
oh, it did, for sure.
The famous,
yeah.
what was it? The Activision Blizzard Cosby Suite.
Yeah, and all of this,
Yeah.
and it's come out. He's known about all of this stuff all along, and just fine with it. And now that people are asking for him out, the board of directors is like, we stand behind him. So now we've got today Jim Ryan over at Sony PlayStation and Phil Spencer over here at Xbox, and both called him out, called out the board over there saying, no, we don't want your games on our systems anymore. If you guys are gonna do this, imagine they say, nope, Call of Duty is no longer on our systems.
I was literally about to say, did you see all like the nerds on Twitter freaking out about like, I'm not gonna have Call of Duty on my PlayStation no more. Yeah, you're gonna have to buy a fucking PC, idiot.
Imagine Call of Duty and World of Warcraft isn't on there, but like Call of Duty, Overwatch, which is on the systems, like any of those games, a bunch of those games. Imagine they take the new Diablo Resurrected. Imagine that just gets taken off because they're like, we don't want this name associated with us right now until you guys do something about it. That's how you change an industry. Like everyone was saying, vote with your wallets as like us consumers. But that only goes so far. Only enough people even know about the news. It's when you get this level, when you have CEOs going up against other CEOs. I mean, I feel like that's when there's legitimate money in play, and I feel like there has to be a change coming up. So that was just a short topic. I just thought it was a good time to transition into it, and I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on all of that as well.
Well, I thought it's been interesting. I was trying to see if I could find it on the fly the World of Warcraft player stats of how those have changed since that whole thing came out. Because I know a lot of people have been flocking away from WoW to other MMOs like Final Fantasy 14. Obviously, when New World came out, and then everybody realized how shit it was, they flocked away from WoW. They were looking for an excuse to not play WoW anymore. When this whole thing happened, I was trying to see what the stats have looked like for decreases and then potential, increases after people just discovered they didn't like New World and all that stuff. So, but I can't find those on the fly. I was just trying to see how that was potentially impacting Blizzard, because obviously WoW subscriptions make a shitload of money for them.
And Blizzard Activision did drop like 7 or 8 of the biggest names on the Blizzard side of the company when all of that stuff first came out. Everyone in that Cosby Suite picture dropped instantly. The CEO on the side of Blizzard dropped. There was some huge names in that stuff, and they had to revamp a lot of the stuff in a lot of their games. But the one last one a lot of people were calling for was Bobby Kotick, and they just were like, it was like no one heard it or something until just this week.
Pointed to this position 3 months ago, or whatever it was. It was pretty recent. Like, how did he even get to this point if he had this much history?
He was already at this position. He was the only person who didn't get touched.
He wasn't? Okay.
He's been in this position for like 9 years.
Okay, then I'm confused. Who's the person in charge of it right now?
No, he's in charge of the Activision side of the business. So there's Blizzard and Activision are like
when they came together.
Yeah, they're together, but there's still a CEO technically on each side.
Right.
The Activision one is like the daddy CEO though, and the Blizzard CEO is like
makes
a
it even
step
worse.
below him.
He went to
It's
University of Michigan. Now I even more so.
Yeah, so I did find a population chart on this one website, mmopopulation.com. So just if you want to fact check this fucking thing.
Sorry, I left it, Spoon.
Back in December of 2020, the population of WoW was around 7 million players, and it's been going down. At about May of 2021, it was down to 2 million active players, and those are active daily. There's a trend.
Yeah.
It did spike around summertime, funny enough, because you would think
Weird.
summertime
That's
people
like
would be outside.
When it all was too.
Yeah, and now it's dipped significantly. It's about 1 million on average as of October and November.
Well, and they haven't
So
had an
lost-
update in a year and a half either.
I was gonna say, when was the last update? What, a year and a half? 2
So
years
I'm
ago?
trying to think, and I
It was
think,
Shadowlands.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that came out probably the end of last year, which is when it peaked, and then people did get upset with that because the content really sucked, the raids sucked, and so like there's probably more to the numbers, and you're right, it's probably like ebb and flow with the expansion release. But yeah, I mean, going from 7 million to about 1 million players active over the last year, it's significant.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I mean, I think that would kind of be in that place without any of this drama, just because they haven't been doing anything to the game. I mean, they haven't listened to the community at all. They haven't.
Yeah.
They haven't had consistent updates for a game. You have to pay $15 a month to play. I think that's.
You don't have to single out WoW. You haven't done anything for any game.
That's true. I'm
I mean,
sorry. I know.
What are they doing for anything?
that is very
Hearthstone's
true.
the only game that I can think of that they've consistently been doing updates for. Like, they
And that's
just
the
announced
free-to-play game.
expansion. Like Diablo obviously is old. Overwatch is old at this point.
Whoa.
They pushed back Overwatch 2 again, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, they
that's
did.
To TBD. So and
Diablo 4 is
TBD.
just unknown.
So it's
Heroes of the
struggle over
Storm
there.
is my favorite game they make, and they don't really
Yeah.
support that anymore. So that's over. So that's depressing to me.
It's rough over there.
Yeah.
Speaking of drama,
Yeah, let's
My neighbor's back.
No, I like that. Let's get into this topic too. Nick, I'm gonna let you take it away since you were so eager.
dude, I fucking hate Streamlabs.
You used it for a bit too, so I feel like you're a good one to take this away.
I did use it for a while, and I had these. So my hate for them is different from like what we're actually going to talk about. So I, as Mike knows, has a beastly rig where I should have zero issues streaming and playing anything. For some reason, every time I use Streamlabs, I'd get this random lockup where it would lock up my stream, lock up my game, and it was like this memory leak with their code or whatever the fuck they were doing behind the scenes. And it was only some games that this happened to. So I was constantly having issues with Streamlabs OBS when I was using it. So I eventually switched back to regular OBS with the Stream Elements plugin. Haven't had the issue since. So my distaste for Streamlabs is completely different from the shady as fuck stuff that they've been doing for years, pretty much copy and pasting, other people's work. There's a competitor that they copied a lot of their stuff from a user experience and website stuff that recently came out. And of course, the recent controversy led them to changing their name from Streamlabs OBS, aka Slobs, because they are fucking slobs, to just Streamlabs. So change of the name for the company. There is some controversy around them stealing work from other people and not being very innovative. But that's the gist of it.
There was a lot that came out just the last day and a half, really. That it started with, I think it's Lightstream is the company, and they're actually the one of the easiest companies to go through if you want to stream from Xbox or PlayStation onto Twitch and have overlays, all of that stuff set up for you and run in the background while you stream from your console. It does cost a fee, a subscription fee, as do most of these types of services. But it essentially, the goal of it was super lightweight, ran in the background on their servers and stuff. You just set it up, they did it for you. Your stream looks nice on Twitch. Streamlabs OBS straight up copied their work. Like, everyone who tried it out was saying that it was like a mirror image. The fonts were the same, the buttons were the same, right down to, and this was posted on Twitter, but the user reviews were literally copied and pasted. Like, they didn't even try. They copied their friend's homework and put their friend's name on it by accident. Did.
So for those who don't know what Mike's talking about, the exact tweet I'm looking at right now on live stream, and this is what went viral that initiated this whole thing of everybody coming out of the woodwork saying, yeah, they copied us too. Livestream literally put a clown emoji and they said, hey, can I copy your homework? And then another line saying, yeah, just change it up a bit so it's not obvious. And then the clown saying, bet. And then it's a side-by-side image of Lightstream next to Streamlabs Studio, and it's literally verbatim next to each other, exact same thing, layout, everything. And they're like, yeah, sorry about that. Their response was, we made a mistake. Text on the landing page was a placeholder text that went into production by error. This is just covering their asses at this point, right? And they said, this is our fault. We removed the text as soon as we found out. Our intended version is now live. A live stream team is great, and we've reached out to directly to them to apologize.
So Nick, you went to school for software. You've designed websites. You've designed, software. What is the generic text placeholder?
It's a website called Lorem Ipsum that you can generate text and fill it in. And there's a reason for that, because when you look at formatting on a website and how your line spacing is, it is actually, it's got an explanation, but it's got like the perfect sequence to actually go and line up both sides of the text.
Yep.
From left to right.
And I guarantee that everybody out there, whether they remember it or not, has read the lorem ipsum, it goes on, the whole phrase. You've seen it somewhere as a text placeholder. It's what literally every site, every company, anyone uses as a text placeholder. You don't copy and paste somebody else's work and say, oops, it's a text placeholder. And another example they threw up was, OBS came in and they're like, well, if we're calling them out, guys, so we're open source. They can use our code, which is essentially what Streamlabs does. But they're like, Streamlabs asked if they could use our name so they could be Streamlabs OBS. And we said no. And they did it anyway. And not only that, they went and trademarked it afterward. Go back to the homework metaphor. That's like stealing someone's homework or copying someone's homework. And then handing it in and going up to the teacher and being like, I'm so sorry about this, but so-and-so copied my homework.
How do you stoop so low?
Like, what?
It's weird. So looking at OBS's site about what you can do with their code and trying to use that to something else. So it's licensed under a GPL2 license. I don't know if anyone knows anything about licenses, but that's what I do at work all day. And that license requires you can use it and do whatever you want, but if you edit or change anything that they do, which to me, the name seems like something that's required, you have to re-upload everything that you've downloaded and make it available back to the community.
Right.
So I'm wondering why they picked that license to be able to do that, because technically they are able to do that under that license, whereas a GPL3 license would require them to put everything that they've touched or everything they've made themselves back on the internet also. So I wonder if they've kind of shot themselves in the foot trying to be a little bit too open source by using a little bit more permissive license than something that was a little less restrictive.
So going back onto that a little bit, OBS responded, obviously with their official tweet saying, hey, we reached out to them, yada, yada, yada. Then below it, they state, legally they've obeyed the terms of the GPL and they have repeatedly disregarded the spirit of open source and not giving back.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Which.
Well, then that's. Oh, I see. Yeah, legally they have obeyed the terms, but they repeatedly disregarded the spirit. Yeah, that's just bad friendship in business.
Much.
Oh yeah.
It's like, come on, we've basically taken all of your stuff and.
Yeah. Did Did you guys see Elgato's response?
Yeah, they said,
Oh,
they said,
yeah.
oh yeah, first time, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
James
did see that.
Franco
I did see
meme.
that.
Because they
'Cause this-
copied Stream Deck.
Yeah.
They literally
Yeah.
they came because Stream Deck occasionally or Elgato came out with the Elgato Stream Deck, and
Yep.
it's this device. You know, for those of
think
you who don't know,
literally
you put it in front of you while you're streaming.
All of
and
us
it
have one
has,
on our
like,
desk right now.
Yeah,
Probably.
just like that. Perfect.
Yeah.
Like a 5x6 grid.
Yep.
And you press buttons to do different sources to have it do whatever you want. Well, in 2020, Streamlabs released their own version, and they called it Streamlabs Stream Deck.
Yeah, it's just so, and it was just the phone app. It's an app you
Yeah,
could pull up on your
right.
phone, but it was essentially the exact same
But it was the same
software.
thing.
Copied and
then
pasted.
the thing is, they didn't change the name though. The
Yeah.
same with Streamlabs OBS. They kept OBS in the name. They just called it Streamlabs Stream Deck. And then when they were asked to change it, they changed it to just Deck.
Yeah, and I know I watched Epos Fox's video on this, and he
Yeah.
pulled up a table. There was literally like 7 or 8 companies listed where they copied their exact work and
Yeah.
renamed it almost the same. Like they did this with so many people, not just those 3, but those
Right.
were 3 of the biggest ones. I mean, one of the other ones I know they've taken source code from Stream Elements, and that's what they use for some of their alerts and other stuff. So it's just shady the way they do a lot of what they do, but. You know, now I think it's coming out in the open. Finally, the big streamers that use them, that their faces are plastered all over their site, are calling them out. I know, like, Pokimane is one of them. I think
Fucking Hassan.
Yeah, Hassan.
Hassan and Pokimane both came out and said, "Hey, if you don't resolve this or anything, we're out of here," because they
Yeah.
were sponsored by them.
Yeah, well, they're the 2 people on the landing page if you go to Streamlabs website.
Is Hassan on there too?
I believe so. He was at one point. I think he still
I know
is.
he uses the software. I wasn't sure if he was on it.
I think
know
it's Pokey and
Pokimane was all
Hassan
over it though.
are the 2 people that show up when you open their software or go to their webpage.
Yeah, now they're just getting ratioed all over Twitter. So
Yeah, no, I don't know where this is gonna go. People, the thing is, the internet has a short attention span.
that's true.
People will forget in a week about this because it's
Yo.
not the.
That's true.
Ninja is also on there. I just looked at
Oh,
the website.
yeah.
Ninja's on there, and world-renowned DJ Cascade uses Streamlabs to connect with his audience.
Yeah, sure he does. I mean, I'm sure he does, but it's not him using it. It's his mods setting it up for him. And
Here's another thing I didn't know is they're owned by Logitech. Did you know that?
yeah, and I think Logitech
not.
is gonna do something about this as well. I know a lot of creators were reaching out to Logitech about it, and I won't be surprised if they do something with Streamlabs. I don't know what they would do necessarily, but I mean, they're the big company in all of this, and they don't want their reputation hurt.
Right.
So I could see them just being like, bye.
Distance yourself from it.
Bye.
No, I feel
We're
really bad after
separating.
learning all this because I didn't know any of this until probably 2 days ago when you were sending these links out to us.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I have been using Streamlabs OBS because OBS didn't have the undo feature until pretty recently.
Right.
And when I put my frames together, it would drive me crazy that I had to keep redoing it.
Well,
But
that and like the snapping features and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
They are nice to haves, but you can install plugins in regular OBS that do the same thing and don't reduce the load on your PC. But I completely, at the same time, like you're saying, I understand. I think there's a ton of people. There's probably millions and millions and millions of people using Streamlabs even right now who haven't even noticed this stuff coming out because they don't necessarily follow the news. They just go on, they stream, they have a good time. So
I'm sure, like you said, the internet has a short attention span. Like this will be,
We'll see.
this is all over the place
Yeah.
right now. But I wonder if in 3 weeks is anyone gonna care?
Right.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I want to get into one more quick, kind of bigger topic, and then I think we have some small topics we want to get to. I know we already went through one of them, but I wanted to hit on the Apple right to repair conversation, and that just happened again in the last 2 days as well, where Apple came out and they are taking some small steps towards right to repair. And I think it's good to see. It's good to see that they're like with replacing your screen. You can do it yourself. They also walked back on like a week ago the whole T2 chip disabling Face ID if you have a third party replace your screen, which was also a good thing to see. But before I say any of my thoughts on it, I wanted to get some of your impressions. I don't know how much you guys are into right to repair or what you guys think about this, but what did you, I don't know if you've looked at it too much, but what do you think about this? I guess we'll go with Nick first. He looks like he was in deep thought.
No, I was thinking about like, so the recent MacBook Pros that got released, I picked up a new 16-inch, and I know some of the teardowns that if you looked at the previous year's unibody aluminum MacBook Pros, they were impossible to replace batteries, do other things to them, because pretty much everything was soldered to the main board. This new MacBook Pro actually has connectors to the battery packs where you can actually replace them yourself very easily. So we started to notice some of this activity, I think, with the teardowns of the new MacBook Pros that just came out. So they've kind of been signaling moving towards these things for enabling consumers to be able to repair their own devices. So I think it's all positive stuff. I haven't read too much into the iPhone specifically because, and I get yelled at all the time. I'm holding up for everybody seeing. I don't have a case on my phone. My case is Apple Care Plus. So if I break this, I pay $99. It gets fixed. So, like, if something happens to this, I'm not going to go out of my way to repair my whatever phone. Like right now, I think the trade-in value for me to get a new one is like $790. Which, if I were to go get a new phone tomorrow, I'd pay $200 new phone. So like the whole like repair thing for me, I get it if you have a phone that you're utilizing for, past the life of a battery, right? You're using a phone for 3-4 years, which of course, like we know our parents do that, right? But I think us tech consumers that love the new stuff and acquiring the new stuff day one, you're probably looking to upgrade on a 1 to 2 year basis. Yeah. So for me, it's not a huge deal, but I do see where a lot of the people that aren't our demographic, where it is an importance, and then be able to have access to those third parties to get parts and affordable repair services. It's definitely where the market should be moving. And then of course, Android has had some of these things for years, right?
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking about it.
I'm actually going to counter you a little bit, be a devil's advocate to that, in that I'm still on the Pixel 3, which is now over 3 years old. I currently don't have any plans of switching off of it. Plop is as well. Look at that. And I definitely want to see, and this is definitely inspiration from a lot of the creators I follow as well, be it Gamers Nexus, Linus Tech Tips, back to craft computing again. And that's the sustainability of all of this and not seeing so much tech waste in the world. And that's where the right to repair for me is a big deal. And I think what Apple is doing, and again, I know Spoon in chat can probably call me out, and I'm quoting a little bit what I've heard from Craft Computing and a couple of the other guys talking about it who are in this space of, it seems like they were pushing this out, the whole like, oh, look, you can repair your screen. Look, you can buy this kit directly from us. They're pushing it out as a way to almost avoid getting called out for not being able to literally buy individual parts to fix things on your logic board of your iMac or your Mac Pro or anything like that. They're trying to almost distract a little bit from the bigger picture of e-waste. They want to let people replace their screens and their batteries, which, to be fair, the 99%, that's all they're going to replace. But the 1%, the third-party repair shops, all that, who do want to replace all of the more technical parts without the security chips in there, preventing the device from working afterward, aren't getting much out of this. And I think that's where more of the problem lies, because it's creating more tech waste in the world, And that's just, I mean, that's in general not a good thing. That's what EU is fighting Apple about, even now just with the connector they're using. So, yeah, I mean, with that said, I don't know if Kevin, Plop, if you have any input either side of it. And like I said, this is, it's really the 1% that it's going to hurt. 99% isn't too affected, but...
I mean, just based off of looking at the article a little bit, I didn't even realize that in July the Biden administration released that legislative forcing companies like Apple to even do that. I try to pay attention to what I can, but some of those kind of get brushed under, and it's not like huge news, But I guess it goes back to that whole, meme of Apple phones. After a couple of years, you get an update and your Apple phone just stops working, right? Isn't that the meme?
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you have to get a new one, like.
Yep. Well,
so.
And I know, Nick, to counteract your point a little bit, but also relate to you, is you're someone, with like your tech stuff, you upgrade. You always, you want to have the new thing, because honestly, a lot of the work you do, your side hustle stuff, everything relies on having powerful stuff. So it makes sense. But when it comes to those things you don't care about as much, you just need them to work on the daily. And I remember you, like a year ago, ripping apart, it was like your I think it was your dryer, to replace the dryer belt.
Yep.
Like,
Nice.
and imagine you want to do that, and they're like, no.
Yeah, you can't.
No, you either gotta send it back to us, or you just buy a new one. You can't take that belt to yourself.
Yeah,
You can't replace that belt yourself. That's essentially, I think, what the overarching thing, and it's good that the Biden administration is pushing this, or I don't care. Like, I don't want to bring politics into this.
It doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter what
Yeah.
administration. I'm just happy that someone is pushing right to repair so hard. And I know Apple is one of the ones, Tesla is another one, who have fought right to repair. Another big industry is the farming industry. But yeah, Kevin, I want to hear your thoughts.
I know I keep just trying to
No,
jump in.
no. I want to hear your thoughts.
So being from the Detroit area, I, of course, work in the automotive space, and this is like a huge topic going around about the right to repair. And you mentioned Tesla, and they're kind of against it. A lot of the right to repair from a business standpoint is based on security and information and getting, I don't know the right word. I work in a space like that, but I'm not the guy that does all this stuff. I do licensing, so I knew that kind of random stuff. But letting someone know how something works, where you have like cybersecurity secrets, basically, to say, hey, you can now view our stuff, get in here, you're going to have access to this. Now, all of a sudden, you're putting customers at risk because people get more information about how their products work for security, et cetera, et cetera. So I know my dumb explanation doesn't make sense, but companies like Tesla and all these other automotive companies, or any electronic companies like Apple and stuff, part of it is, yes, like Apple is obviously, they want profits by, charging higher prices to have them fix these things. But I think the backside of it is now they have to give basically other people more access to their inside, which is their security. And the security is the biggest like threat to them, because as soon as they get people in to know their, their code, their like secrets of how stuff's encrypted,
Right.
that's where problems start to come happening. So I know like Tesla, that was one of their big issues, is like, we don't want people to come in here too closely, because now you're going to start seeing a little bit of what we do. And that's, now we're infringing on customers' information, which they collect a ton of information from.
That's a good point. That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
And that is
a cybersecurity guy here, right? So big supply chain security is a thing, not only on the physical hardware side of things, but software. So like, for example, you might have a controller, and I'm going to be very generic in nature, but you might have a controller that has components that make it up. So let's say like the CPU has an exploit. Once you figure out what CPU is in that controller, you can technically exploit that brand's thing. So whether it's a Tesla, whether it's we're just going to assume it's a controller for a car. Tesla, General Motors, Ford, once you figure out what CPU is in there, you technically exploit any one of those brands. If it's a software thing, think of like a stack. So software engineer previously, think of like a communication stack for like TCP/IP. How does that thing communicate on a network? Some of those people utilize those third-party libraries and software stacks to actually build their code and their firmware. So if there's a supply chain vulnerability with like some plugin that they use for network communications, then that thing's vulnerable. So you can start to figure out how the dependencies of how they create these OEM products, that is a Tesla or is an iPhone. Qualcomm has their own vulnerabilities. Once you start figuring out what components are within that and the different software pieces that make it up, then you can figure out how to exploit that device potentially. And then you start seeing size and scale with the amount of iPhones there are in the world.
Yeah.
Vehicles, and then the legacy stuff that's in a vehicle itself has like two different unauthenticated, unsecure networks that if you were able to get access to that, you could turn on and off the car. You could take control of the steering wheel, especially in like these self-driving vehicles.
And that's already happened.
There's like a Jeep. Like Jeep doesn't have self-driving capabilities, but like it has the lane assist that has a motor that could tilt the steering wheel back to get you back in the lane.
Right.
So you can take advantage of stuff like that. That's traditionally not thought of as like, well, I could take and Knight Rider to this vehicle into this fucking tree or something.
As soon as you start allowing access, people now can see under the covers of what's going on, and that creates tons of security risks.
Right. I know that was a direction I wasn't necessarily thinking of it from, was the security side of things, where, I mean.
It's really funny.
As we move into the future, it's going to be a big deal, and because
sorry, I just
no, keep going.
What Nick is saying is basically what I tried to say, but I'm not smart enough to say it the right way. But like stuff like that, we talk about at work all the time, and it's funny seeing articles about right to repair from the consumer standpoint, and to them they just go, well, we're going to be able to save money. Why would we not like this? And everything's always painted like the company is the bad guy, which. Right. I mean, I'm a consumer too. Like I'm like, I definitely don't want to pay tons of money to get some of my shit fixed. So it is a very weird type of thing because it's always painted in one type of picture. It's like, oh, this is just Apple trying to get more money. But
I think it's going to be a huge problem to solve in the future, and a lot of companies are going to have to figure this out, of sustainability mixed with security. There is going to have to be a point, because again, tech waste is also a problem. Right. So there is going to have to be a point where there's some sort of way they figure out how can we be as sustainable as possible with literally with tech and data even, but at the same time as secure as possible. And it sounds like that's going to be a huge problem for a lot of companies moving into the future, because the more everything gets connected, the more everything is more vulnerable.
Yeah. It's almost scary because Apple's just been getting hit left and right with everything, like the stuff with the App Store and Epic. Now this stuff coming at them, like they're just. I mean, they already have dirty amounts of money. Let's be real, but I think that the reign of Apple is slowly falling apart, unraveling piece by piece.
Yup. No, it's like you said, it's a big deal, but I mean, they're also are they right now? They are the wealthiest company, right? Tesla was above them for like a day.
Are they wait?
Or no. Elon was the richest man for like a day. But did Tesla get up above Apple, or are they just the other $1 trillion company?
I have no idea.
I can't remember. But anyway, I wanted to ask you guys, how did each of your drinks go? Specifically, I know I'm eager to find out Nick's, because I've never had a stout from Alchemist. So
hold on, key facts. To
Yeah.
answer your question, Microsoft is the most valuable company as of this Forbes article on October 29th.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
well, I mean, that might be correct.
Well, thanks, Phil
right
Spencer.
Now.
It's completely his fault, right?
It's completely his.
Yeah, apparently.
He did it.
So the last one before that was the August update. Apple was number one with 2.4 trillion. Microsoft was 2.14 trillion. Saudi Aramco was number 3, which I almost had to fucking go to Saudi Arabia. May or may not have been for those fuckers, but Alphabet's right behind them, then Amazon. Tesla's number.
So Tesla's not close.
Top 4.
So Elon was just up there in the richest man of the world category.
Right. Tesla's number 7 with $703 billion.
Oh,
it's gonna be Tesla, Facebook, Amazon,
pennies.
Google, Microsoft,
Yeah,
Apple.
it's all those people.
Yeah,
it's the elites.
All those companies.
All right, so back to your question about the beer. The beer was good. This British style imperial stout, tasty. It actually, so like everybody gets really obsessed with Heady Topper. Vocal Banger, I think, is better between the two.
I
This
agree.
might be my favorite beer of the three, to be honest. But I'm a dark beer kind of guy, where I like stouts, I like porters, I like ambers, red ales. The darker, the better. Like I'm not really like a super big IPA guy. Like I enjoy IPAs, but when somebody
We could
sits
not be
there
further apart.
dude, so like I enjoy IPAs. I like them. I do.
That's
but
all
like,
I can stomach.
yeah, I don't know. I'm a thick boy, so like thick beers, I guess. I don't know.
I'm right there with you, and I have a little bit of a
Amen there.
little bit of a hot take. Heady Topper's not that good.
It's
It's
good,
it's
but
fine.
it's overrated.
It's fine.
I don't know any of these things.
It was
Are these all like
good,
local to
hazy
New Yorkers?
IPA. It's
Listen,
a
no,
Vermont
no, no.
one, yeah.
You
Heady
cannot get these
Topper
in New York.
is
You
really
can't get this in New
good.
York.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
I heard you with your little beep, your little screen back.
I've never actually got to.
Is it
actually
really
use that
fucking good?
before.
Self-censoring. No, so like, all right, so let's back it up for Kevin a little bit. So Alchemist is this brewery that's outside of Burlington. I believe they're located in Stowe. Yeah,
Yes.
they're located in Stowe, Vermont.
Mhm.
You actually can't get their beer in New York because New York's got some weird laws and shit like that. So you actually have to go to Vermont to get their beer. So people bring that shit back. You know, it's rare as fuck. You know, sometimes people will go to a beer exchange and then sometimes some restaurants will acquire it to sell cans at a ridiculous markup. Where to get a can of Heady Topper, if like I went to like a sports bar that I usually go to, you're paying like $15 for the can.
Yeah, it's
So you guys
ridiculous.
are like
It's
smoggling
ridiculous.
beer in from out of state.
Yeah,
So we do that here, but we do it from Windsor in Canada. So we'll cross the border and bring over Canadian beer.
We bring
By the
over
way-
Montreal Canadian. You know,
We get
have it
that
over
Wayne
the
Gretzky
Labatt.
whiskey. That's what we like to get.
By the way,
I always get at the
I'm
border.
not going
and it
to
gets good.
Stowe, Vermont in the next month or two, so you definitely shouldn't let me know if you guys need any beer so I could bring it back across state border. I mean, not bring it back across state borders, you know?
So I have a list of places you should go to instead. So my little where I got this was I went on this 1,400-mile little like trek to Boston, New Hampshire, around Vermont, just hiking and off-roading. So I've got a couple of breweries for you to hit while you're out there.
Awesome.
You know, I mean, hitting up Alchemist in the winter isn't going to be great, but yeah, is that also Vermont beer?
No. I'm just
just
I've
pouring
had
it
my
out.
second one ready for a while.
Is,
but
is that the Game of Thrones like thing
No,
that came in
this
like
is-
a box?
This is another Firestone, but this is one of their best beers. Probably it's the
No,
Parabola.
the cup you're holding.
Oh yeah, no, this came in an Omegang
yeah,
stout
I
box.
think I had
It
that
is the Game
exact
of
same
Thrones
thing.
one, yeah. But I didn't. I just wanted to hold it up. I didn't actually want to cut off. I wanted Nick to keep going because I know where he's going with this.
Yeah, so
Well,
like
I
I've got a
think
couple
that
places
was
that
fine.
you need to like go pick up. I actually filled up my cooler, where I had to go buy a second cooler because I ran out of space for some of the stuff I bought. But yeah, Kevin, you probably just bring back Molson Canadian over the border. The Molson
No.
on the other side from Canada is so much better than the Molson we get in the States. That is probably my favorite shit beer to have.
Most everybody will drink Labatt. That's like our Labatt Blue is like the drink of choice for everybody beer wise. I know.
Brewed in
Of.
Buffalo, New York.
Is it really? I didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah, go look it up. Labatt USA is Buffalo, New York. It's in Plop's backyard. He
Yep.
goes out there in the morning.
Kind of
you
looking
know,
a map.
It's.
It
I
is-
mean,
Where
it
you
is
guys
very
at?
much
they
right
use.
Oh, because
they,
Buffalo's right on the edge of Canada too, right?
yeah, they use.
All right,
the,
yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we're
kinda
just
like
as
we
close
are,
to the
'cause we're
border
right-
as you are,
Yeah,
if not closer.
because most of my coworkers are from Canada. So they all come from Windsor.
Oh,
They
nice.
commute right across the bridge.
Windsor.
Windsor.
You know what's funny is you're really not that far if we went from Canada. I could just
I
like
think it's like
drive
3
right
hours,
across.
right?
yeah,
If
it's
you
like
cut through?
3.5 hours cut through Canada to
Yeah, okay.
Detroit.
I've
I've
done it
never
like one
done it,
time.
but-
It's been a
'Cause
while.
it's 5. It's just under 5 hours from here because I've done it for men's nationals for volleyball out there.
Nice.
But yeah, Kevin, that's what I'm saying. You got to come out here for a LAN in Buffalo this January.
Will they let me in Canada? Is that allowed yet? Are we doing that?
I think it's allowed.
You can.
Yeah,
I can go there.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
so Americans can go to Canada.
Mhm.
Canadians, I think, finally just got approved to come into the States.
Yeah, November
Yeah.
8th or 9th, it was just,
Yeah.
they just reopened it, I guess. For,
Plop, you doing massive LAN?
What's that?
Massive LAN?
Wait, what? Huh?
Massive LAN, the LAN party in Buffalo
It's
that you
in
came to.
which one's that?
Buffalo.
Which one's that? Or what?
The one you came to. It's I think it's in January sometime. I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I'll post it. I'll post it in chat later. I'll post it in the
nice.
Discord.
Yeah.
Another
Definitely
shameless plug.
interested.
Anyone want to join the Discord? In chat.
Nice.
But
Is
yeah,
that the one you told me about earlier?
yeah, that's the one I told you about, Kevin. It's in Buffalo. So I was trying to convince Kevin to drive out and meet us there. So.
Hey, I work from home. I'm always looking for excuses to leave my house. I need to get out of here. I'm going nuts. I
But
think my wife's getting tired of me.
so I see I know you guys posted some small stories as well. We could chill with. I don't know if Plop, how was your shandy? Want to make sure we get around.
It was a nice little shandy, you know, nothing too special. I wish it was an IPA, but it's what I had in the fridge. So,
Kevin, did you break into your expired IPA?
No, I finished the Mango Mule, which was great, and then I went to a Coke Zero.
It's probably
I'm pretty sure
decision,
that
to be
this
honest.
IPA is bad because it's been warm, cold way too many times. So
It might just have a little extra like dank to it.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
IPAs go for half the
Yeah.
time anyway. So.
Yeah, well, the can's like really like I can feel like it's like exploding a little bit. So
Oh yeah, no, that's probably.
I was also scared to open it at my computer. So
Yeah, that's fair.
the new Coke Zero is what I went for. The new red can. It's now more delicious.
Ooh, I do love Coke Zero.
now more delicious.
I did want to
If
quick.
it wasn't good enough already.
quick.
I don't know if
quick
anyone
plug.
drank it and go, you know, if this was just a little bit better, a little more delicious, I'd probably drink it more.
Yeah. I just wanted to go quick plug with the Parabola I'm drinking, the 2021. I wanted to break, like I said, the first episode of all this, guys, and I'm really excited, and I'm so pumped all of you guys could be here for the first episode. And hopefully many more with all of you, whether it's
Yes,
all of
sir.
you at once, here and there, each one of you. I'm just excited to keep this thing going. But yeah, I had to break out. These are 2 beers I've had in my closet for like a year now, so saving them
We
for a
should do, like,
special event. This is a special event for me, so
A weekly thing, we all do a shot on air too, at the beginning of the
Ooh.
show.
that'd be fun. I do have over on Twitch a punishment thing. Well, I don't know if it's a punishment. People can spend points to make me either do a
boy.
shot or a shotgun, which is a terrible
Nice.
decision, and I should increase the amount of
Okay.
points that
Respect it.
I think I should increase the amount of points that people have to pay to do that, because I'm gonna be really sad when like 5 people save up. It's like
Yeah.
2,000 channel points,
So what happens?
and then it's just like 5 shotguns in a row, and I'm laying on
Listen,
the floor crying.
One of my TikToks I made, it was, you remember the intro to Avatar: The Last Airbender where they go water.
Yeah.
And it's just saying that over and over again, but it's like when chat redeems the hydrates in your chat like 20 times. It's great. It's
Yeah,
great.
that's pretty
but yeah,
clever.
Yes,
you're literally just chugging water, man.
I love it. Yeah, I have a hydrate one as well. Abby always makes sure to keep me hydrated. Wants to make sure I don't come upstairs completely dead, drinking only alcohol. I want to touch on Game Awards. I don't know if everyone. I'm guessing did you put that in, Kevin?
Oh, that was me,
I
actually.
did,
Oh, Plop
but
put it
I
in,
would love
okay.
to talk about it.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
so I mean, yeah,
take it
for
away.
those of you
I
that
have
don't know
lots to
about
say.
Game Awards, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a yearly thing. I mean, there's a lot of different categories, but I guess I'll just touch up on the one that I threw in there, which is Game of the Year. Obviously, there was like a cutoff point. I'm not sure exactly when that was, but on the list they have
I think it was
Deathloop.
2 weeks ago or something. I heard it was pretty recently because they were talking about what just came out that they were talking about. I wanna
The
say
awards
Pokemon, but it's not Pokemon.
Tuesday that they posted them.
No. What the cutoff was to get the game submitted. So like,
Oh,
when it's
yeah.
the next year, 'cause,
Yeah,
like,
it was
prior
2
to
weeks.
that, though, yeah.
it was something because there was a game that just missed it and there were people bitching about it online. But sorry,
Yeah, that's what I seen something
I
like
can't
that.
remember
too.
what it is
Yeah.
either.
They're
I
like,
keep thinking
why isn't
Pokemon, but it
this
wasn't
game
that.
was it not Battle? I know maybe not
It
Battlefield.
wasn't
but
Battlefield, because Forza
don't know.
made it, and Forza was the first week of November.
Yeah, it was pretty recent.
So it would have been second week of. I don't know. I don't honestly. I feel bad that I don't.
know. Sorry, I just
Anyways, so
derailed myself.
game of the year. That just for the lineup, they have Deathloop, It Takes Two. I haven't played It Takes Two, but supposedly
Game Pass
if
now.
you have a significant other, great game to play. So I might have to pick
Even though
that
the game's
one up.
about
Or
divorce,
like a
so.
sibling, or like just someone you have to cooperate with. Yeah, it is about divorce. But yeah, someone you
Get
have
your
to
loved
cooperate
ones
with.
that you're married to and play through a game of a couple getting divorced.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm hoping I haven't played it. I'm hoping you get to the end and everything's okay. It's like a Disney movie.
True.
They love each other
Or it's
again.
one of those things where they're like, it's okay, life goes on after divorce. And they just
Or they
they
decide
both find
like,
somebody else.
Oh no.
or they're like, you know what? Divorce and child support is going to cost a lot of money. Let's just work it out.
Yeah. All right. So game of the year, they had Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and then Resident Evil Village. Which
What games have you guys played out of this list?
none.
You haven't played any of them?
No.
Shit.
I've heard good things about Deathloop though. That's one
Yeah.
that's one that's on my list, and It Takes Two is also on my list.
You know,
gonna say,
I
It
own
Takes-
every one of these games, and I've only played one of them.
It Takes
So
Two
that's
is
even
on
worse.
my list. Haven't played it.
Oh no, I lied. I played two. Sorry. Which one did you play, Mike?
No, I wasn't getting to anyone played. I honestly, It Takes Two is on my list. Metroid Dread is on my list, but haven't
I thought
gotten
you played
it.
Dread.
No. I was super busy all of last month. I like barely played games last month, so I didn't pick up Dread because I'm like, there's no point in paying full price right now if I know I can't play it for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
How much is it going for?
It's $60. It's a Nintendo game.
Don't worry, it'll be
It's gonna be $60 for like 3
Nintendo,
years.
man.
It's Nintendo. That shit ain't getting
Nintendo's
cheaper.
still selling them for 60, huh?
Oh my god. Yeah,
What's
you
great
can't.
is
Breath of the
there's-
Wild barely goes on sale.
Yeah. What's cool is two of them are on Game Pass. So It Takes Two. That is a difficult name to say. That one is on Game Pass just recently, and Psychonauts 2 is a Microsoft-owned
Yep.
studio, so that one's on Game Pass.
And Psychonauts is the one that I want to play the most out of this list. Ratchet and Clank is second, though, and they're pretty close. I've been playing through the previous Ratchet and Clank because I didn't have a PS4, and I didn't want to jump into the new one without
last one was good,
playing
though,
the
remake
reboot.
one.
So yeah, I think I'm like 90% of the way through that one, and it's been a great game. So
Yeah,
I'm really
it
excited
is
to
a good
play
game.
the new Ratchet and Clank, which is based on, the reviews, hearing what people have had to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially just the same game as the last one,
Which
with
was
a
nothing wrong
twin
with
that does. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, I just got done saying I'm having an amazing time with it. I'm excited to play it, but it sounds like out of those two, Psychonauts is the more innovative, deeper story, and honestly, from a lot of the reviewers, the mental side of it or the psychological side of it. I just have my cat is definitely.
I know. I'm just
something
waiting
down.
for something to fall down. I'm staring right at it.
But it has a side to it that is, I guess, super deep story wise, and I'm excited to try that out. But I don't know, Nick, have you played any of them?
I have not.
Okay, so I guess we're
Shame on
not
all
the
of you.
best group to talk
I
about
know.
game of the
Okay,
year.
hold on. I didn't go yet. So I have played Metroid Dread. I've played probably about 25%, and I did finish Resident Evil Village. I have purchased Deathloop, and I purchased Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, but I've not played them. So since none of us are experts on these games, playing wise, what do you guys think is the biggest surprise out of this bunch? Or what do you think is surprising that's there, and then what are you surprised isn't there?
I think Forza is the one I'm most surprised about that isn't there.
That's what I was
And the
gonna
one I'm
say.
surprised that is there, even though it was super popular with all the memes, it wasn't rated the best, is the Resident Evil game.
Really?
I think if you swap those two for each other, and then the only other one, which would be one I did actually play, would be Monster Hunter. I would have put Monster Hunter Rise in there. I thought it was
What?
awesome.
No, that
but it was
game's
beginning of the year.
stupid.
Oh my god, it was such a good game.
Monster Hunter Stories is better than Monster Hunter Rise.
For a niche audience, for the
Yeah,
RPG
and so
audience.
is Rise is a niche audience too.
I
If you like free to play games but you want to pay for it, go play Monster
Rise
Hunter
had like 8 million people playing it.
Well,
That's
it's
the
because
same
that
as
many-
Forza.
They're all wrong.
Okay. So same question for the other two though. Is there one that you guys expected to see in Game of the Year that wasn't?
Nick, do you want to go first or me?
Go first.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard to say because I haven't really, obviously played any of these games from this bunch. I've heard really good things about Deathloop, so I'm kind of not surprised based on, critics' responses and the feedback of the community that Deathloop is on there. Not surprised by any means. It Takes Two, also heard great things about that. I haven't heard much about. I've never been a big Ratchet and Clank player, so Xbox guy, not PlayStation. So sorry, but it's just it is what it is. Never really played the games growing up, but I can't. I mean, they've always been good from what I heard, but Psychonauts seemed like kind of a meme when I saw the release. But it's hard to say just based off how the game looks. So I don't know.
For a quick kind of breakdown of it is, Ratchet and Psychonauts are probably in the same category of 3D platformer with a story, and out of the two, Psychonauts seems like it might have the deeper story, and people were super hyped about it. And I think the original game, it might have seemed more like a meme because it had it. The original game, I'm not gonna. What's the best way to describe it? It's almost like the Rick and Morty type following, where it's such a dedicated fan base who still remembers it. Where it almost, it's a cult classic. So it seems like a new one coming out so much later would fall into that.
I feel the same way with that because people talk about the first Psychonauts game like it was some legendary game, and I've never really thought it was that good.
Yeah,
I think this one is following in suit with that, and people just think it's great because of what it is. But it does seem like it's a game that has a lot of heart because it's kind of coming from an indie studio, even though it's owned by Microsoft.
True.
Because I think this game was even kickstarted originally, long ago.
Yep, Kickstarter campaign, which is why it came out on everything.
Yeah.
But it got a lot of its polish because Microsoft picked it up and gave them the money to be able to delay it and keep working on it and say, hey, take the time you need.
So I'm looking at a list of games that did come out in 2021, and I'm gonna just name a few here to show you. Like, there's a handful of games I'm surprised I didn't even think of because they came out, earlier in the year. Hitman 3, which I don't know if it had any nominations, but that game was badass.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Pretty good.
A similar list, but yeah.
Yeah, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which I don't know if that even counts because it's a re-release of games, but
I think they need to add remake. Remaster category because there's so many of those types of games coming out every single year.
I saw a lot of people talking about Returnal not being listed for Game of the Year, and people loved that game, and it was pretty good. I didn't love it or hate it. I thought it was good.
Straight up say it's not my cup of tea. So,
was Far Cry not released this year? Far Cry 5?
Far Cry 6 was.
Far Cry 6 came out like 3 weeks ago, but it didn't do very well.
Is that the one?
No, because John Esposito is up for some awards.
Yeah.
I think Far Cry 6.
For Best Voice Actor.
Yeah, and Far Cry 6 is up for some awards in other categories as well.
Do very well overall.
People just have fatigue from the Far Cry games. It sold incredibly well.
But what about
people are just
Tales of Arise? That's another game that I feel like people just overwhelmingly really enjoyed.
That game's at the top of my list to play.
I have that. That is literally in this top stack of games I want to play.
That and Scarlet Nexus.
That's another game.
2 JRPGs that are
also on Netflix.
I mean, the only other game that I could think of that was released, right, would be Cyberpunk, but their release was kind of a meme, right?
They're still a meme.
Cyberpunk is awful.
They're up for Best RPG of the Year.
They could have done it so. I mean, the game is still good. Like, it's good from. I haven't finished it, but
it's good if you can play it.
But you played it on PC, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, it runs fine on my computer. I don't have any issues, but like.
But you got a pretty good.
I feel like it could be one of those games. Like, give it a little bit longer, and it's something you can go back and it could potentially still have a good story and whatnot. So.
I'm excited to go back and play it, but I'm still like, that's a game I want to play sitting on a couch. I like RPGs sitting on a couch. So I'm waiting to play it on my Series X.
I'm the same way.
And until they release the patch for next gen, I refuse to play it. I have the disc, and I refuse to play it because the patch for next gen originally was supposed to be March after launch. And then when they had the bad launch, they're like, oh, it's not going to be until holiday 2021. Now, TBD. Now there's like, we don't know. We're still catching up on making the regular game work. So
a a lot more games that came out this year that I'm like Bravely Default 2. That was a pretty big deal for a little bit.
Yeah,
That's-
now that I'm looking through, it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
That's
shit,
the one that a
I-
lot of people are pissed that Cyberpunk got put in RPG of the year over Bravely Default.
That's you know what? Okay, last game I'll pull off this list because we could be here for hours. But
Right.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxies, I think, is such a surprise hit. I've been playing that, and I cannot believe how much fun I'm having with that
I've
game.
heard so much hype around it. People are like,
like the music, because I think it's nominated for best music. I think that was the
I
category
think
it is.
so. Yeah, you might be
The
right.
music like makes the game fun on top of the fun combat. Like you'll be fighting in a battle and you got like your regular orchestra music, and then you do this like huddle thing where you pull everyone together. That happens every once in a while, and then it kind of everyone does like their super attack, and all of a sudden like some 80s rock music comes on. It's like a popular song, and it just fits so well with everything, and it makes you just smile the whole time you're playing.
Yeah,
best
that
score and
sounds
music
like a lot of
there.
fun.
It's so cool. Just the game, and they just added ray tracing for consoles for it. So
Oh man.
Nice.
like, which is free stuff. Go ahead, and the performance mode, free upgrade to next gen. Like they're doing everything right, and the game's fun.
That's awesome.
I'm a little surprised that wasn't game of the year because, I don't know. It Takes Two is kind of a cute little thing, but it just seems like a small game compared to all these other games that are on here. Like those are all like real games,
Just another genre, best action game, Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
and that's a solid lineup again. I think Back 4 Blood, I'm happy to see it come out. I'm happy that there's finally a Left 4 Dead successor. That for me is going to be a LAN game. Left 4 Dead has always been a LAN game. You're chilling with 4 friends, same room, and you're just killing everything that comes at you. That's always been the way to do it, and I'm excited to play that game. Actually, at Massive LAN is when I plan on downloading it and playing it, and it's on Game Pass. Woo!
Nice.
It's weird. They have Shin Megami Tensei 5, which doesn't even come out till what? When did that come out? Last week?
That came out 2 weeks ago. It was last week. Yeah, that was last week.
So if that made the cut, I don't know.
Yeah,
what
I don't know
other
what
game
the
I'm
cut
thinking of.
is. Maybe Halo. Maybe there's upset Halo multiplayer didn't make the cut because it came out
Maybe.
Monday and the awards were Tuesday. Announced Tuesday. The day
I don't know.
after.
I'm pretty excited for these awards because
I mean, can you call a beta even a release, right?
Well,
I
it's
don't know.
oh my
Yeah, you're
god,
right, it is a
Fortnite
beta.
won it. Fortnite was in early access until like it.
It's true, I
Fortnite.
guess.
Fortnite announced its 1.0 release at the
Fortnite.
Game Awards after winning half the awards for that year. So.
Oh my gosh.
So, but yeah, I don't know. That's I know we
Anyone pay
only.
attention to esports at all?
Yeah.
I'm going through categories right now, and I don't even know who those people are. Do you?
Best
big-
esports game?
No, the player. I was looking at best esports athlete.
Oh, I didn't see that one. On best esports game, they have Call of Duty, Counter Strike, Dota 2, League of Legends, and Valorant. I feel like Valorant's gonna win that.
I'm ignoring
I
that
feel like
category
Valorant would
until
win it
they
too.
recognize Rocket League. They have yet
No,
to.
Heroes
they
of the
have,
Storm.
Yeah.
That's the
They
most
have
underrated
yet
game.
to put Rocket League in that
How
category.
is-
And Rocket
Honestly,
League.
how is Call of Duty in there over Rocket League?
Right, Rocket
It's
League
CDL.
is it doesn't. Rocket League is a major
true.
esport at this point.
There's more money in CDL
Dude,
than there is Rocket League.
Yeah.
how much money is in CDL?
Crazy amounts.
a
Like
lot.
it's stupid amounts of money, and that's
It's
the
like
only
a
reason why it's still there.
$15 or 15 million buy-in, isn't it, per team or something, or like
to
100 million?
to
That's
get
stupid.
A buy-in for a franchise.
I get
I'm
it,
pretty sure
but-
it's 25 mil. Like I'm pretty sure like when 100 Thieves bought their spot from whoever had it before, it was like a $25 million buy-in to get their franchise spot for CDL.
Mhm.
That's
So-
crazy. It's like fucking silly.
But I mean, Complexity just picked up a Rocket League team.
They did.
Kevin, just the best esports athlete. They got Simp, Showmaker, Collapse, Simple, and Tenzi. Simple's a CS:GO guy. Tenzi's a Valorant guy.
I don't even know these people.
Showmaker's League of Legends. Simp, I want to say, is Call of Duty.
See, all the
Yeah,
esports I
it's
used to
Call
watch,
of
like
Duty. Yeah.
Hearthstone is all I'd ever watch.
And then I don't know who Collapse is, but yeah.
Go simple. CS:GO.
No, yeah, I was gonna say I would pick out of those. It's either gonna be Tens or Simple, but Tens has had so much drama around him this year. I'm surprised he's in it.
Dude, so like, well, the thing is like,
So is
Ten's
Simple's had a little
creator
too.
and
So-
esports, like he's crazy. So like,
He
Tens
is.
might win it.
He's insane. Yeah. No, but I would say personally for me it's Simple, but that's me.
Best
Yeah, so
community
the
support.
so Yeah, the esports teams and the best esports athlete, they go with one another. So they pulled one person from each best esports team.
Which
so
I looked at that and I was like, I understand it, but I also don't like it because it's the same category essentially at that point.
Right.
And then for best esport, I don't care. They pulled the esports that the people were from, which makes sense again too. But I'm dying on this hill until Rocket League's included. I don't care. Dying.
Hold on. Best esports event. 2021 League of Legends World Championship. Okay. The International 2021, which I think is Dota.
Yep.
Valorant Championships Tour Stage 2. PGL Major Stockholm 2021, which is CSGO.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2022 PUBG Mobile Global Championship.
What?
Why is that on there?
I wonder if
if
they ever put BlizzCon for the stuff there, but they didn't have it last past year. So I wonder if that was something that was missing.
Do you know that? I don't know if anyone knows this, but PUBG Mobile, I'm pretty sure, is the biggest game in the world.
I think it was like huge in India, wasn't it?
It is. There's literally like
1 of these
6
things
million
is not
people
like the other, though.
in India. No, it isn't. Well, no, Nick, when we went to DreamHack, there was like multiple stages set up for mobile games. Like Clash Royale had a setup, PUBG Mobile had a setup. It was weird. It's just people freaking sitting up there with their phones on stage.
Back in my day, when Complexity sent me to MLG Columbus 2019 or 2009 for like the World of Warcraft tournament.
Didn't MLG die in 2008?
No, 2009. There's photographic proof I was there.
Okay.
With the WoW tournament, they had the Halo tournament, the Gears of War. Yeah, MLG. Columbus.
So
you see little JetBlk without a fucking beard.
What do you guys think about this award show altogether? Like, is this something you guys look forward to? Do you think it's kind of gimmicky? What do you guys think of Jeff Keighley?
It is what it is. I watch it, and it's kind of cool. It's interesting, but they're just trying to.
Oh, sorry, go on.
I think they're just trying to mainstream esports, right? That's their whole thing behind this, and that's the part that I can respect, right? Is they're trying to be like, the Emmys and the.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't know about just esports. I think try to mainstream video games.
Well, right,
just the awards in general, like all that. They're really pushing for that.
So I can get behind that, and I can respect that fact. So
I agree with that. Jeff Keighley isn't like my favorite person in the gaming industry.
I've grown to like him more. I've met him once, and he was friendly in person.
Okay.
And he always has really cool shoes on stage, so I'll give him credit for that. Yeah. I always like his shoes, and he works really hard. From people I know in the industry that know him and work with him and through podcasts and etc. That he works his ass off all year to get pretty big deals. Right. So like he's supposed to have 40 to 50 new games shown at this event. And I think it was last year, it was just world premiere after world premiere that I was actually pretty impressed by.
And that's what I was going to go into. I was saying he's not my favorite person in the gaming industry when it comes to like maybe the opinions he gives off. But what I was going to say is the reasons he does it, a lot of what he does is to make deals and get exposure for the industry, get these premieres, get these huge events going. So he does so many positive things for the industry, and sometimes because of that, to make those positive things happen, he maybe has to say or do things that the average Joe gamer feels they're not in touch with, and they're like, oh, this is dumb. I kind of view him almost as like he's like the Ryan Seacrest of the gaming industry.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a good They're
kind of giving a face to it, right?
Yeah. So, I don't know if you guys want to hit any of the other topics. We're getting.
I mean, we're already
deep in here. Yeah, we're over the time. It was the first episode. We had some extra people on here, and I'm honestly just pumped we got into this like this deep. It was a lot of fun. I love sitting down and talking to all you guys. I hope that anyone who stopped in and listened, or anyone who's listening post show, had as much fun as we did. I don't know, Plop. I know you were excited to.
Hey, yeah,
just actually, you and Kevin, some of the Riot announcements. I'm gonna let you guys take it away. I don't know, Nick. I don't know if you care about any of the Riot stuff, but I'm gonna let these guys take that away for the next couple minutes. I'm gonna finish my drink, and then we'll reconvene and finish up the show here in like 2 or 3 minutes.
All right, before we get into that really quick, just a fun fact. PUBG Mobile.
Fuck you guys.
Listen, PUBG Mobile just announced their championship series for PUBG Mobile. $6 million prize pool. So if anyone's trying to get in on that, let me know. Just throwing that out there. But Kevin, you can take it away with the. I think you were pretty big on the
yes.
2 new games that Riot just released under their name, Riot Forge, I believe.
Yeah. Well, they're working
something
with
like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know so much on the Riot side of things, but there's a company that's called Airship Syndicate, and they made a game called Battle Chasers. I don't know if anyone's heard of this or played it. It came out, I want to say like 2016-ish. And it's a game that's based off of a really short series comic that this guy had created, who was like a comic, illustrator or whatever. He created these things and built the game off it. And it's an RPG game that follows this like very comic book style, like turn-based RPG. Really good game. I really enjoyed that. They haven't talked about any type of sequel or anything. And then at E3, I think maybe it was 2 years ago now, they had announced that they were going to be working on a new game with Riot, and there wasn't much for it. So it turns out that this game that they're making is this Ruined King, a League of Legends story, and it's based basically in the same engine as this other game, Battle Chasers. Like, they look very similar. Mm-hmm. It's just now it has a League of Legends, paint coat right over it. So, and was it a couple days ago? I think on Tuesday it was released, I want to say.
Yep.
Tuesday.
It looks like a lot of fun. I'm going to try it out at some point.
Oh, dude, this game's going to be great because it looks just like the other one with new stuff. Anyways, they did a shadow drop, stealth drop of the game and just said, hey, it's out today. Go get it. And I haven't picked it up yet, but I'm pretty pumped to get this because, this is like a great Switch game.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's on Switch, and I know...
Yeah.
I was going to say, Nick, this is right up your alley when it comes to games.
It's a great game.
So it's probably... I feel like it's a game you should pick up for your trips and stuff.
Yeah, I haven't played my Switch since I moved. It's been a while.
Well, here you go.
Now break it back out. I think this is the game to do it for because this game has you written all over it.
Oh, is it released on Switch? Is that what it is?
Well, it's on Switch. It's on PC. Everything, I think.
Yeah.
But I just like... To me, like, if a JRPG game's on Switch, that's perfect because I love playing laying on the couch.
That's like the perfect style of game to play.
Yes, that's my I can go lay on my back porch. I can go lay in bed. I love being lazy.
I'm in the same
boat.
Switch. Yeah, I'm in the same boat of if it's an RPG, if it's a game that you have to spend a lot of time in.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have it handheld. That's the reason I still play the Pokemon. Like, the Pokemon games are, out of all of the first-party kind of Nintendo stuff, they're the one that I like to play in handheld the most because, one, I've always done it, but two, you put so much grind time in. You just put so much time in where you're just kind of sitting there, chilling, relaxing. Handheld is the perfect way to do that. You can put something else on the TV. You can lay in bed. You can
I agree.
Lunch break at work, anything on the plane, and you can just grind. You can play through those games, and it's so relaxing. The Switch is such a fun
This is perfect for it. And if you guys, you could probably find Battle Chasers for pretty cheap because it was not like some big budget game back then. You could probably get it on a sale on the eShop or pick up a physical copy, and it's worth playing. It's not super long either, but if you look at videos, just look up Battle Chasers gameplay and then look at the Ruined King gameplay. It looks very, very similar.
It's that turn-based game style, right? Or you just take actions.
You got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
They did one of the interviews they were doing. I think it was right after they announced it. They talked about the game more, and they have like an element where you can pick who goes next in a turn and change the timeline of events, which is pretty important in this type of game. So I'm interested to see how that affects it because the other game it could be kind of challenging where you want to get a heal off, but the person's turn that does the heal is after the guy that attacks because there's like 6 people on screen, and then you die. So
cool.
So yeah, I'm pretty pumped for that.
Yeah, and just to keep it moving along here, the other game they released was that Hextech Mayhem game, which is a rhythm runner type game. It's just one of those side-scrolling games, I believe, and you play as Ziggs. I think you take on. It says you take on the role of a Yordle and Hexplosives experts Ziggs as you rampage through the neighborhoods of Piltover. So it's just a little side-scrolling game that they released alongside Ruin King, and those are separate games. But yeah, some interesting stuff, and we know Riot's got big things planned with their MMO, and among other things, like I know they have a fighter coming out and an MMO, and who else knows what they're going to be making in the next couple years, man.
Stuff out. I'm waiting for like the full open world 3D RPG that because they're gonna do it. They're gonna drop it.
It's gonna be big.
No, I'm waiting. Honestly, the MMO, it'll be their MMO. That's gonna be the one that is nuts.
It's gonna be a bit. They just started production this past year? Not even.
Yeah, it's probably
last fall.
I'd say 4 or 5 years till we see even like the play tests probably.
Right. 2024,
but those will be that'll be a big deal when it starts to happen. Hopefully it doesn't kill graphics cards like New World did. Had to fit that burn in real quick. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if you guys are all good. You've said everything you want to say. Nick over there going negative in Halo right now.
I'm fucking winning
clap.
right now, actually.
Yeah.
Easy clap.
I bet.
Yeah.
Listen,
quick play warm up.
Do you guys want to play a quick round after stream of Halo? Plop, do you have it downloaded?
Yeah, I'll play one.
Yeah, I'm in.
Kevin, let's get it. Nick,
Want me to carry you?
Yeah.
Well, just one more thing. Just one more thing.
Can you put us in your backpack? But yeah, Plop, go for it.
I'll make it really quick. Just go watch Arcane.
Okay, I do have to watch.
I really want to.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all.
I've heard good reviews from people who don't care about League of Legends. So
doesn't matter if you play League or you know anything about the lore or you know anything about the characters. Man, what they did with Fortiche is the animation studio they worked with, based out of Paris, France. It's great. They kept it all internal instead of going out to like people who know how to make shows. They kept it internal in Riot, and they said, "Okay, you two, you know how to make shows?" They're like, "No." All right, you're making the show.
You too.
Let's do it.
I hope that happens to me at work one day.
They're like,
so
you, are you ready? No. Fuck it, we're doing it live. Let's go.
Highly recommend. Act 3 comes out this Saturday, so all 9 episodes will be out. They're like 45-minute episodes, but give it a shot. See if you like it.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
It's on Netflix.
Sure. All right.
That's all I got.
Well, I want to go around the circle real quick. Let you guys plug your channels one more time. I'm going to throw them all in the description. Post video for like the actual video that sits on YouTube. Sorry, we're a little pressed on time before the video. Didn't have a chance to get them all in. But everyone plug your social media. These guys will also be back more too, guys. So you'll see them again. But let's start with Plop, and we'll go counterclockwise around. So Plop, Nick, Kevin.
You can follow me, Plop04 on both TikTok and Twitch. My YouTube's in the works, so don't worry about that one. And then Twitter is it's Plop, ITZPLOP. Yeah, watch Arcane.
Right. Nick?
All right, check me out on Twitter at JetBlk, JetBlk, and I am also on Instagram at NickShot12. On YouTube, where I stream and will be posting videos, just look up JetBlk. There's a long URL. I don't have anything short for you quite yet. And Kevin.
Hey, I am at Pro5002 basically everywhere, unless that name was taken like TikTok was. So I'm Pro5011 there. And then you can find me at Link Cable Gaming. We do a show every Sunday. Mike usually pops in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find news articles and all kinds of stuff over on the main website.
Yeah, and yeah, guys, Mike's Nerd Cave here. Check me out on Twitch. It's Mike's Nerd Cave on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Here on YouTube, sometimes has the apostrophe, sometimes just doesn't. And yeah, I think that's it for the first show. I'm really happy with doing this. Guys, I'm so excited you guys could all come out for this. I'm so excited to finally do this. I've wanted to do this for like a year and a half now.
This is great. This is a lot of fun.
And yeah, no, to finally just say screw it, we're going. Honestly, I think was the biggest step. I just needed to, because no matter how busy life is,
get it out there.
Yeah, I think no matter how busy
go
life
for
is, it's just do it. And that's what was holding me back. We did it. It's gonna be a weekly thing. Honestly, I know, Kevin, you said you're available every week. Nick, I know you travel a lot, but whenever you can be here, be here. Plop, if you want to keep coming every week, you are more than welcome. And let's do this thing, guys. And with that said, I think we're going to call it here, folks. But thanks, everyone, for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the show. Comment down below, again, what you liked, what you didn't like, what games you're playing. And, yeah, come by and hang out next week. We'll see you then. Peace.